showers and at times maybe some brief heavy rain in the mix. There's no flood watch in effect for our area, but this is what's going to drop potentially around ½ an inch. Some will get a little less, some might get a little more than that as this comes through later tonight. What we are finding closer to LA right now is just a few sprinkles, some spotty light showers, and off towards the east we've seen a little bit of light rain as well. But again, it's that stripe or wave off towards the west that'll progress through the area overnight. And by the way, a new thing since we last spoke during the last newscast a short time ago, the National Weather Service has changed and upgraded what was a wind advisory to now a high wind warning, as they're now forecasting even higher wind speeds here. That's in effect until 1 o'clock tomorrow, and it's winds out of the south, not a Santa Ana wind, but it's basically winds from the south tied to the storm system. But let me walk you through what radar is likely to look like as we continue through the night. Starting off at 9 o'clock tonight, and again, we have that rain off towards the west. Here it goes eastward into about midnight. We're seeing a lot of it in LA County at this time, then just gradually progressing eastward overnight. That's 6 o'clock in the morning. Here's 9 o'clock in the morning. Our far eastern areas have a little bit of rain, but for the most part, other than a couple of spotty showers tomorrow, most of the rain will have passed by at least the middle of the day tomorrow. We'll talk more about it, though. We'll look at specific rain total forecasts and another big storm system next week coming up in a little bit. For now, back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you. New at 8, some residents in Sierra Madre sounding the alarm again over what they say is an ongoing issue, toxins in the soil there.
And now the city council is hearing new details over those concerns. Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos there in Sierra Madre with the latest tonight. Ed?
And Marla, growing concerns here, growing fears by many of the neighbors about contaminated soil being moved around, being stirred up at a construction site, a controversial site. Let's get to it. To the video we go. This is at the center of the controversy. Work here on a vacant lot that is part of the part of a big development to put in some 41 new homes in Sierra Madre, and it's causing controversy because that land was never tested. It's vacant land, and it's important to remember that was not burned in the fire, but several of the homes around that vacant tract of land did burn, did suffer damage in that devastating Eaton fire back in January a year ago. So then construction crews move in. They start in the last month really digging trenches, putting in poles, stirring up the dirt, moving it around. Dirt that was not tested at that point are the claims. And so then neighbors very upset, putting the pressure on city leaders. The city then having the contractor involved start testing. And now we're finding out that the test results come back and show levels of contamination, soil contamination, that is higher than EPA levels. But that happened after the construction started and the soil started moving around. So the neighbors at this point say that is way too late, too little, too late. You start moving contaminated soil. Now you tell us you're taking steps to mediate the problem by removing the top 12 inches of topsoil. They say, really, you've got to do a much better job than that. Listen to some of their concerns.
Now they're kind of backtracking, saying, okay, we're removing that soil, but we don't know now. It might have spread all around the perimeter because they trench, and I have video of them trenching all through that area, all near our homes. And we've already spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars cleaning our homes, and now these toxins are coming into our clean yards and homes.
If we would have never spoken up, they would be digging up contaminated soil and no one would know it.
But the thing is, they were moving around that soil even before they did the testing.
Yes, they started to do work, and we just feel that they needed to start the testing before any activity happened. Why? Why wouldn't they do that?
And that's why we're angry, because they're moving soil, and they said they weren't going to start moving soil until the report came in, but soil is being moved. And it's right in people's backyards, and they have kids and vulnerable members, and we can't take this sitting down.
And now live, they are not taking this sitting down. Very vocal, making their point, saying, as one of the neighbors said, the city council members, we've been through hell over the last year because of the fire, trying to pick up the pieces. Now you're moving around this contaminated soil. So at the bottom line to all of this, the construction will continue. The city, though, wants the contractor to start doing more testing on the soil. But the neighbors say, how can you trust the contractor? Because it seems to be a contract, or really a conflict of interest, because they're moving soil. So it's a huge controversy here. Neighbors are upset. And it all goes back, interestingly enough, Phil and Marla, goes back to the Eaton fire over a year ago, and the emotions here, they're still burning rather hot.
So, Ed, in a perfect world, what exactly can be done at this point, and what would they like seen done?
Well, they would like the construction to, they say, what's the hurry? Pause the construction. Let's do more testing on the soil before we stir up anything more. Be sure that the contamination is gone. Test the entire area, and then you can start moving forward with the construction. Although the neighbors say the city probably isn't going to go for that because there's a lot of money involved in this huge development project bringing in the new homes here in Sierra Madre. The city, for its part, says they're aware of what's going on, and they're really putting a lot of the responsibility, safety responsibility, on the contractor to do the testing and to remove that top layer of topsoil that we know at this point through the testing is contaminated.
All right, Ed. It's always more developments on those fire stories, right? Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. We'll keep an eye on that one.
More breaking news tonight out of Canada. At least 8 people are dead in a mass shooting at a school in Canada. Here's what we know. This happened in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia, which is northwest of Edmonton. According to local police and local news outlets, 6 people were found dead inside the school. That was the wrong images and video that we were showing you there. So just want to clarify that. Now, 1 died on the way to the hospital. The shooter is also dead.
And 2 other people were found dead inside a home there. The deaths are believed to be connected to the shooting. At least 25 people have been wounded. Police are working to find out if there are other suspects involved. Right now, we don't have many details about the shooter. We're going to update that story when we have more information. And the story we just showed you tonight, an undocumented youth soccer coach is facing 9 new charges in a disturbing case. This is Mario Edgardo Garcia Aquino, already accused of murdering 13-year-old Oscar Hernandez last March. You remember that story? His body was found by the side of a road in Oxnard. Well, the coach now faces additional charges of sexual crimes involving 2 other teens dating back to 2022. The 44-year-old Garcia Aquino already remains in jail without bail.
Now to a story first seen on Fox 11. Students at a South LA school are furious after one of their teachers was let go because he opened a gate to let them out during walkouts. That teacher tells Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez it was simply a matter of safety.
We're standing right in front of the fence that the students were jumping.
A rally outside Synergy Quantum Academy High School demanding the return of history teacher Ricardo Lopez.
Andrew!
He was at school last week when he saw some OSQ students trying to jump a fence to join anti-ICE walkouts happening at schools all over Southern California.
When I saw that one of my AP US history students was going to jump the gate, I almost fall, and I saw other students trying to jump it. They was like, hey, don't jump at the gate. So I opened the gate so they could not get hurt. The day before, some students were hurt trying to jump the gate.
An hour later, Lopez says he was terminated and marched out of the school.
Officially, it was terminated for insubordination for not following some policy.
His belongings put in boxes and delivered to his home.
I have a lot of student work that I'm very proud of. I hang some of these, there's paintings, there's things that students have created for their projects.
In a statement to Fox 11, the school says that as a campus within a rather large LAUSD property, they actually have to adhere to the district's policy when it comes to campus access and safety. During the large walkouts last week, LAUSD issued statements discouraging students from leaving campus during school hours. Lopez says he wasn't encouraging anyone to leave.
I was just concerned about my student safety, and I was the closest adult, so I just acted in the moment. The work I was trying to do in the classroom, I feel like it was impactful and meaningful, and I really miss my students, and I really want to get back to the class.
So are his students. In South LA, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass taking new action against ICE operations, signing an executive directive requiring LAPD officers to preserve evidence related to immigration enforcement actions, also prohibiting city property for being used for staging by federal agents.
We will never allow ICE to continue doing what it's doing in terms of attempting to stage in different areas. And I will tell you that when they have attempted, they have been told they have to leave.
Directive banning ICE staging on city property mirrors one already in place in Los Angeles County. Several city council members and community representatives, as you see, were present at today's signing to demonstrate their support.
Now on to the breaking news out of Arizona. A person has been detained in the case of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. Sources say the person is being questioned by authorities.
Now, it is not this person because it comes just after the FBI released mysterious video of this masked and gloved person. We don't know if it's a man or a woman, caught on camera walking up to Nancy Guthrie's door. Taylor Wirtz from our sister station Fox 10 Phoenix is live now in Tucson with all these new developments. Taylor?
Yeah, Marla and Phil, so many twists and turns in this case tonight. Just within the last few hours, the Pima County Sheriff's Department putting on X just in the last hour that it did detain a person of interest for questioning near South Tucson. TMZ says that that person is not related to Nancy, and the New York Times is saying that that person was detained somewhere near Rio Rico, which is near the border of Mexico. That person is not being ruled a suspect at this time, but they are being asked a lot of questions tonight. Of course, this comes as day 10 since Nancy's disappearance, and still no sign of Nancy, even though a lot of activity at her home today. I've truly never seen so many media outlets in one place. But this comes with a development that a lot of experts say could crack this case wide open. For the first time tonight, we got video of a suspect going up to Nancy's home in a ski mask, armed, walking up, trying to cover her security camera with a gloved hand, then putting plants over it. Hours after the release of this video, we saw FBI agents canvassing the area here where we are right now near her daughter Annie Guthrie's home in Tucson. And just in the last few hours, TMZ reported activity in a Bitcoin account listed on a ransom note sent to multiple media outlets. TMZ did not specify the amount, and this is something we've been watching for days with no movement until now, so that is notable. I talked tonight with a retired Phoenix police homicide sergeant who's helped crack several notable cold cases. He says the surveillance video released today could blow this case wide open.
This was a major break in terms of giving the community something to say, hey, you know, help us out, give us some information. Somebody out there's got to know more about this individual based on this telling video. The public will hopefully see that and say, well, I know somebody that, you know, has that, or carries the gun that certain way, or looks that way, or has a ski mask, or purchased a backpack, or they'll know something. So this just kind of hopefully blew the case wide open.
And as you can imagine, Hillman says that there is a lot going on behind the scenes since the release of this video that we are obviously not privy to. That could mean more surveillance footage. That could mean authorities trying to validate those ransom notes we've been hearing about all week. And of course, sorting through those many tips that we have heard have just been pouring in today to the FBI and Sheriff's Office since the release of that ransom note. So a lot of activity in Tucson today, and hopefully it will bring us some answers very soon. In Tucson, Taylor Wirtz, back to you.
So, Taylor, I had said going into that the person that is a person of interest in the traffic stop is not the person in that video. That may have been premature. They just haven't said that the two are the same, right? Have they given any more details on that?
Correct, Phil. We don't know who the person in the video is or who the person in the traffic stop is. We don't know if either is a man or a woman. So there's always the chance it could be the same person. Neither has been ruled a suspect at this point, but nothing confirmed that would link the two.
And it was pretty stunning news that you talked about with Harvey Levin today when he said, we have access to the Bitcoin account because that ransom letter was sent to TMZ, and we just saw that activity take place. I understand it was $300. I'm not sure if you can confirm that, Taylor. Nonetheless, that's significant as well, but still no proof of life from Nancy Guthrie or the suspects themselves, correct?
That is correct, Marla. And that's something that when Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have been releasing videos all week, we noticed in the first two videos they were begging for proof of life from the person that had Nancy. And in this last video that they released on Saturday, there was no request for proof of life. As far as the Bitcoin, TMZ at the time when they released the information that the Bitcoin account did have activity, they did not specify an amount, but that could have changed within the last few minutes.
All right. Well, excellent reporting there, Taylor Wirtz. A lot to report tonight. Thank you so much. Still ahead at 8, LA County wants residents to consider picking up the tab for federal health care funding cuts.
We're talking about a half-cent sales tax increase heading to voters. What you need to know next.
Los Angeles County voters will be asked to approve a half-cent sales tax increase.
The Board of Supervisors say the tax hike is critical to make up for federal funding cuts. Fox 11's Nick Garcia explains how it would work.
The LA County Board of Supervisors voted in favor of putting a measure on the June ballot asking voters to approve a sales tax hike. It would temporarily raise the county sales tax to 10.25%.
It's temporary. Footnote, temporary. This doesn't go on for 30 years. This goes on for 5 years.
Supervisors Hilda Solis and Holly Mitchell introduced the measure to supplement health care funding cuts made by the federal government.
We are facing more than $2.5 billion in federal cuts over the next 3 years. If that's not a sledgehammer, I don't know what is.
Supervisor Catherine Barger was the only one to vote against it, saying it shouldn't be on LA County taxpayers to make up for the shortfall.
My question is not about the why. It's about the how. And this could have been better vetted and put on the ballot in November.
Many cities in the county are opposed to the proposed hike.
A lot of cities are also dependent on tax revenues, and with sales tax revenues dwindling, looking for other ways, increasing the taxes are the only way that cities can provide essential services.
Still, hundreds of people showed up to the meeting, the majority of them showing support for the increase.
That will balance what people are losing and what organizations aren't going to be able to put out for those that are in need.
Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
All right, Nick, thank you. All right, check this out. Cats really do land on their feet. Let's see it again. Ooh, that was a 10, wasn't it? This fire happened yesterday in San Bernardino off Northeast Street and West 4th Street. Everyone was evacuated, but this cat risked one of its 9 lives to get out on its own. It jumped from the 2nd story down to the ground, took off. One firefighter that was hurt and taken to the hospital. No word yet on what actually started the fire. All right, coming up, fallout from the Epstein files growing stronger on Capitol Hill.
A top Trump official defends visiting the so-called Epstein Island, while lawmakers get an up-close look at some unredacted documents. That's next.
Weather is sponsored by My Home Sold.
We are, I was going to say hours away until the rain hits our area, but I think some rain's already falling in our viewing area. Is it not, Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger?
Yeah, a couple of spotty light showers here and there, but really the main event out of this whole thing will be coming through in the middle of the night tonight. And this is overall a pretty, if you're going to draw up a plan to get some rain, this is looking pretty good tonight because we'll get some. It's not going to be too heavy. There's not flood watches. And also it's in the middle of the night. So it's not like we have, the morning commute going on or people have places to be. I think a lot of people will just be asleep when this all blows through. That's a live view of downtown from West LA right now. It's just kind of cloudy and we've got that dampness in the air, but not much rain yet. Before I show you radar, I just want to show you the hour-by-hour breakdown, though, of the rain chances for L.A. Now, if you live farther west, you're going to get the rain a little sooner. If you live farther east, it's going to be a little bit later. But as far as like the middle of L.A. County and right around downtown L.A., we're looking at around midnight when most of this rain will sweep through, so it kind of moves from west to east through the area. And then as we push this forward, now looking at 6 a.m. to noon tomorrow, notice how those rain chances really start to wind down. Maybe there's a couple of spotty showers in the morning. Late day rain chances pretty much come to an end. So here's the system that is bringing the rain. You can see plenty of it across California right now. And this wave right here that's west of Los Angeles is what we're watching to come through tonight. So it's already into Ventura County, for example. We've got moderate showers, maybe some brief heavy downpours in a few parts of all this here. And again, it's progressing eastward slowly but surely. So we'll see it pass through pretty much the entire area overnight. I think it's a good chance that most or all locations will get some rain at some point. Out ahead of that, we see these little spots on radar, just some light rain, some sprinkles here and there, some light showers across parts of Orange County into the Inland Empire right now, but nothing too major so far. And like I've seen all evening when I check in on the rain gauges ahead of this main round coming through, most spots have had a couple hundredths of an inch of rain, and that's about it. So pretty light stuff so far. Let's go through it now. Here's 9 o'clock tonight. Here's midnight tonight. You can see this line progressing eastward. Here we go to 3 o'clock in the morning. So again, right in the middle of the night is when a lot of us will see this. It'll continue eastward. That's a look at 6 o'clock in the morning. So past Orange County for the most part, in parts of the IE, out towards the San Bernardino Mountains, Big Bear, where you see a little snow is possible in the higher elevations. That's 9 in the morning. Here we go into noon. Still some clouds, and then in the afternoon we get a little sunshine breaking through, and again the rain exits off towards the east. Potential totals, I think many areas likely land around or under half an inch of rain. The blue areas is where the model thinks half an inch or more may occur. And you can see there's a couple numbers on the map, a little higher than that, maybe even up to an inch, especially around some of the mountains. That's maybe where the highest rain totals will be. And then as far as snow, this is not a big snow maker, but the mountain peaks just south of Big Bear there and just south of Wrightwood, we might find maybe a few inches of snow way up there towards, let's say, above 7,000 or 8,000 feet as this comes through. All right, temperatures overnight tonight. It's not going to be real cool for this time of year. Most lows will be in the 50s, but at the same time, it's not going to warm up a lot tomorrow. Highs will be in the low to mid 60s for a lot of the area. And by the way, this storm system, as it goes by, let me show you what's happening towards, let's say, Sunday night or Monday of next week. We had another big round coming into the West Coast. That one probably bigger than the current one. And early projections for early next week, multiple inches of rain maybe coming with that one. So that's something we'll focus on a little later in the week. But for now, we're just concerned with tonight. Again, a couple of showers possible in the morning. We're dry for Thursday. Temperatures still cool. Nicer on Friday and Saturday. Late day Sunday and especially Monday, Tuesday. More rain and cooler temperatures coming our way. Back to you.
Thank you, Adam. Still ahead here. From homeless encampments to vandalism.
6th graders are being recruited to help fight crime. Details on the pilot program. Plus, Tina Silva with a story you'll see only on Fox.
That's right, a disturbing case of animal cruelty, but will the punishment fit the crime? I'm Gina Silva, and I'll have that story right after the break.
Live across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Very disturbing animal cruelty case. We're talking about more than 100 dogs theoretically rescued, but many of them were in such bad condition they had to be euthanized. Now, the woman accused of operating the so-called rescue could face somewhat limited penalties.
Fox 11's Gina Silva live in Hollywood with the story you'll see only on Fox 11 tonight. Gina?
That's right. It really was a horrific case, and now animal advocates say the San Bernardino district attorney is considering a plea deal that could eliminate jail time.
The worst case I've ever seen.
It was a shocking case of animal cruelty discovered at this location in San Bernardino County in 2024. 114 dogs seized from Woofy Acres Adoption in Pinion Hills. At least 94 of those dogs were suffering so severely they had to be euthanized.
She put them in like hot boxes and let them suffer and starve to death, basically. Like when they rescued them, most of them were skin and bones, just barely alive, and that's why humane euthanasia was the only way out of it.
Shira Scott Astroff is one of several animal rescuers now sounding the alarm. They say this woman, photographed in court, Diane Denise Bedford, the founder of the nonprofit Woofy Acres Adoptions, could soon walk away with minimal consequences, despite more than 100 dogs found suffering under her care.
She went to the shelter. She pretended to be rescuing these dogs, giving them care.
Bedford, who is also a registered nurse, was charged with 37 criminal counts, including 7 felonies. But Shira says the San Bernardino DA is considering a plea deal because they fear the defense will frame the case as mental health-related animal hoarding.
She said that she's going to try to keep 1 felony charge for animal cruelty, and in the state of California, that, you know, you go online, you think we have all these strong animal laws, and we don't. Basically, that carries probation at best.
If this does plead out to lesser charges, that does not diminish the possibility that there could be other charges that come forward.
Former prosecutor and legal analyst Mary David says this case could go beyond animal cruelty. She says Bedford could also be investigated for fraud or tax violations.
If this is someone who had a nonprofit and was taking donations, but was not stewarding that in a way that supported the care of these animals, that is certainly something that could come out.
The fact that 94 dogs had to immediately be euthanized, this is the worst animal cruelty case I've ever seen.
Shira is urging the public to speak up, contact the San Bernardino District Attorney's Office. There is a hearing on this case. It has been scheduled on February 17th in Rancho Cucamonga. Now, we also contacted the DEA for comment on the story. No one got back to us.
Where are the other dogs that didn't get euthanized? Are they okay at this point?
Some of them were rescued and they were taken to foster homes and other rescuers. But as you heard, 94 had to be euthanized, and that's just not acceptable. That's
gosh,
horrible.
no, of course not.
I mean, these are felony charges. I mean, your person you interviewed there said we don't have strong animal cruelty laws, which I think you could make an argument with that. But whether they're ultimately enforced, I guess, is the question, right?
That's definitely the issue. And of course, the other issue, according to Shira, she spoke with the prosecutor, and what they discussed was that the defense will come up with the possibility of mental health. And whenever there is an issue of mental health, jurors really, just have sympathy for that person and usually don't find them guilty. And so instead of not having any charges at all, they want to avoid that case.
Plea bargains,
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Not everybody's happy in those situations.
No, but it's just 94 out of 114, and it's just numbers.
All right, Gina.
Understand.
Thanks for that.
Thanks, Gina.
Our national news, a fiery combative hearing was on Capitol Hill today as top officials from U.S. Immigration Enforcement were questioned about the tactics used to carry out the president's agenda. Lawmakers characterize ICE agents as, quote, Gestapo, thugs, and secret police. The acting director of ICE defended his people, saying they were operating under extreme pressure.
Despite these perils, our officers continue to execute their mission with unwavering resolve, and we are only getting started.
Mr. Lyons, will you apologize to the family of Renee Good for being called a domestic terrorist by the president and his leadership?
No, sir.
Why not?
Sir, I welcome the opportunity to speak to the family in private, but I'm not going to comment on any active investigation.
Now, in a recent Fox News poll, 59% of respondents said ICE is being too aggressive. That number is up 10 percentage points from last July. Testimony comes as Democratic lawmakers demanding restraints on immigration officers before agreeing to fund the Department of Homeland Security. And new tonight, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have questions about the DOJ's release of the Epstein files.
This as an administration official testified on Capitol Hill about why he's mentioned in the notorious documents. Fox's Kevin Cork has more.
I did not have any relationship with him. I barely had anything to do with that person.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick defending himself in a Senate hearing Tuesday, downplaying ties to the late accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. After the revelation, he had at least 2 meetings with him after Epstein's 2008 conviction on prostitution charges.
We had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour.
Lutnick's testimony comes a day after Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, repeatedly pleaded the Fifth in a deposition, though her attorney indicated she could talk if her 20-year prison sentence were to come to an end. The White House denied rumors President Trump could offer her a pardon.
It's not something he's considering or thinking about.
Meanwhile, lawmakers are accusing the Justice Department of making inappropriate redactions. Monday was the first day members of Congress could see unredacted versions of the more than 3 million pages of files that have been released.
There were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikaladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI.
Nearly 2 months have passed since a deadline set by Congress for DOJ to release all of its files. So far, they've published about half.
DOJ is continuing to conceal and hide, and we need to counter it on behalf of the survivors.
I'm convinced the DOJ is complying with everything they're required to do.
Attorney General Pam Bondi will face questions on Wednesday from the House Judiciary Committee. In Washington, Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Well, tonight, the memorial is growing outside the 99 Ranch Market in Westwood, where 3 people were killed almost a week ago. New video here from today shows more flowers, candles, and photos of the victims. Also, a homemade sign is posted that seemingly asks the Los Angeles Department of Transportation to slow down traffic in Westwood, saying pedestrian safety is the #1 issue. 2 employees and 1 customer were killed when a 92-year-old driver rammed into the bakery Thursday. Officials say it was an accident.
An update tonight on a story we did last week with our Laura Diaz on that North Hollywood dog park, Whitnall. It's called, ruined, neighbors say, by the homeless. City leaders say sanitation crews have picked up all the trash and debris from RVs and tents in the area. They've also removed some RVs parked in an alley owned by the DWP. But as you can see, some still remain. That's because DOT has to put up a no parking sign and give at least 48 hours notice before they can remove those vehicles. Harbor Gateway and Gardena leaders now calling on their youngest citizens to report crime around their neighborhoods.
It's through a new 30-day challenge that kicks off on Valentine's Day. The incentive? Free tickets to Disneyland. Fox 11's Haley Winslow has those details.
Homeless encampments, illegal dumping, graffiti, and crime. Some of the many problems plaguing Harbor Gateway and Gardena.
The kids told us at a meeting that the things they were most concerned about.
Which sparked an idea, a 30-day challenge for kids. Whoever reports the most illegal activity wins a $50 gift card and tickets to Disneyland.
We're just doing like a project.
Sixth graders at Environmental Charter Middle School are first on deck, setting the stage for the pilot program that will rotate schools around here each month. And they're already on a mission to make their community better.
I want to deal with all the vandalism.
I want to work on how to fix that and how to prevent injuries about the potholes and broken cement.
I like researching a lot. So with this challenge, I get to learn a lot more about problems that are happening all around.
Kids can report the illegal activity on one of two apps, depending on the location. The City of LA's My LA 311 or similar Gardena Direct.
You just simply press the icon.
They are the superheroes and they don't have to wait. They'll get the value of having done something well. And the muscle and the body remembers that. And over time, you need less incentives.
So the same message to the adults, I send the same thing to the kids.
A lesson these students are already taking to heart.
Even if you're on a walk, bring a bag that you can collect garbage in.
The challenge kicks off on Valentine's Day, symbolizing love for your community. And hey, if the kids can do it, we all can do it. Reporting in Harbor Gateway, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
Very nice. A boarded-up mall, recently a magnet for vandals. Graffiti now has a new owner. A massive redevelopment project called Bolsa Pacific will take over all 83 acres of the Westminster Mall in the OC. Shop-Off Realty Investment is planning more than 2,200 housing units, hotel, retail, shopping, and acres of open space, including parks and walking trails.
Fox 11 continues to celebrate Black heritage. Tonight, we're highlighting a local restaurant who's bringing a taste of Louisiana to L.A.
L.A. to L.A. Fox 11's Star Harvey introduces us to Stephen Perry of Stevie's Creole Cafe.
Black history doesn't just live in textbooks. Sometimes it's passed down through recipes, discipline, and the courage to build something lasting. In this Los Angeles kitchen, those history lessons are still being taught by Stephen Perry.
My mother was raising 3 children without a father, so I learned to earn.
Perry began working as a child actor at just 10 years old, learning lessons that would later shape his life far beyond the lights and cameras.
I sold newspapers and magazines door to door. And there's a man that turned out to be a very famous man named Chester Washington. Mr. Washington and Mrs. Washington, every week I knocked on their door. And they heard about a movie part. So they said they would find Stevie. And they found my mother. She jumped out of her boots faster than I could jump out of mine.
The need to earn eventually turned into the drive to build.
One night, my brother and I went out and we found a restaurant and had a mediocre everything. When I left out of that restaurant, I said to my older brother, I'm gonna build a restaurant. And that's what I did. I built Stevie's on the Strip at Crenshaw and Jefferson.
And from day one, the community showed up.
I didn't realize that this food was for customers. I thought all the food was mine.
His daughter Lauren and her siblings grew up in the restaurant, learning the business long before they even understood it.
I would always volunteer, can I make some cornbread or something that I could manage, you know, and my parents always allowed me to do so.
The restaurant did more than just survive. The food became the foundation.
Food is, I think, something that all cultures can understand, relate to.
One dish in particular put Stevie's on the map.
They walk through the door and they're like, do you still have that smoky fried chicken? And I'm like, yeah, you know.
Soon after came Gumbo Fridays.
My mom had introduced gumbo to my dad, so she made him gumbo and he thought it was like the most magical, beautiful dish he's ever had. And so it ended up being, honestly, our best seller.
Over the years, Stevie has welcomed artists, athletes, and entertainers. But at the heart, it's remained a family business.
Every person working is important. Dishwasher, cook.
We get a ton of regulars. All the people will come and give us a hug and a kiss, but it's like we all have our personal jokes or personal stories with each of our guests.
For Lauren, that connection is what Black Heritage Month is really about.
I think Black History Month, though, is a great acknowledgement of what Black people in this country have helped build.
The lessons I learned while visiting Stevie's Creole Cafe is that Black history isn't just remembered. It's cooked, served, and passed down.
Our thanks to Star Harvey for making us hungry. That was great. All right, coming up, we're checking in with Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger.
Yeah, another look at the radar. We see this widespread wave of rain that's heading eastward. It'll sweep through the entire area overnight. I'll have the latest on the forecast coming up after the break.
There you go. Fresh powder on Mammoth Mountain in the eastern Sierras. A view from Mammoth Lakes Tourism.
Wow.
Thanks to them for this spectacular footage. 6 to 10 inches of new snow reported today and more expected in the coming days. A little bit of a skier's paradise there.
That looks stunning. And it looks really cold.
It does. You know, when I see that, I think about Salt Lake City, Utah, which in the weather world has made headlines for the lack of snow this year. I think less than an inch, like the whole winter in Salt Lake City. Yeah, like parts of Florida has had more snow than Salt Lake City, Utah.
That's unusual, yes.
Yeah, and there's video of like the ski lifts and it's totally just brown ground under the, anyway, so maybe come to California.
We're blessed. Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have the rain that's moving in, and significantly around 11 tonight?
Yeah, like midnight, I mean, give or take, depending on where exactly in our giant area you live, you know. But for LA, like right around midnight is when the main wave will sweep through. Shouldn't be too big of a problem, just some welcome rain. We could use some. It's been a little more than a month, and it's probably not going to be too heavy to where it would cause flooding, but worth at least keeping an eye on. However, like I said, the timing is great. It's in the middle of the night tonight, so it shouldn't bother too many people. A lot of people will be home as opposed to being on the roads. Then tomorrow, by the time we have the sun come up, I think most of this rain will be past most of our area, maybe just some spotty light showers at times tomorrow, but it will be tapering off. And then we have dry weather Thursday through Saturday. We will see another change, though, starting Sunday, but even more so Monday, Tuesday of next week. That's going to be a bigger storm system than what we see now. I'll get to that in a moment because we kind of had to rush through that last time you saw me. But right now on radar, so we have this current storm system. It's not a major one, but it is a system. It's an area of low pressure. As you see, obviously, it's producing rain, and we have this big wave off towards our west. I say our west, meaning west of Los Angeles right now. It's right over Ventura County, though, at the moment, and it's just going to gradually march eastward as we go through the nighttime, so it'll sweep across the entire area. Out ahead of it, we do have some light rain, just a few hundredths of an inch of rain here and there. Now, as we kind of time it out for you, notice the timestamp is right at the top middle of your screen, so this is midnight. So by this point, Ventura County is mostly done with the rain already. It's going to work its way across LA County for a couple of hours. That's 3 o'clock in the morning. Now it's Orange County into the Inland Empire. Parts of the San Bernardino Mountains, for example, could see not just rain, but also some snow in the high elevations. That's 6 o'clock in the morning. So if you're heading out after that point, I mean, you know, it should be a dry commute for a lot of our area, especially greater LA tomorrow morning. That's 9 o'clock in the morning. Here we go to noon. We still have some clouds, but the rain is pretty much done. And even the cloud cover breaks up a little bit. And we'll get some sun tomorrow afternoon. It will be another cool day, though. Like today, temperatures no warmer than low to mid 60s for highs. And again, at least we'll get a little sunshine towards the end of the day tomorrow. Around the rest of our region, again, the highs pretty similar. Obviously colder in places like the mountains where highs might be in the 40s. But you see all the 60s around LA, the coast, valleys, Inland Empire, pretty uniform temperatures there. Let's look at, this is what I was talking about. We kind of had to hurry through this last time. So let's look at this again. Widespread view on Futurecast, or a wide view, I should say, on Futurecast. That's the current system, kind of goes through, and that's it. Things are quiet for a few days. Now we're going into next week. We have this big kind of powerhouse system that sets up over all of California for Monday. Look what happens as we go into Tuesday. So this will bring some cold temperatures. This is going to bring rain. This may actually bring feet of snow into the Sierra Mountain Range by next week as well. Here's what that looks like for us. So again, tomorrow we talked about the overnight rain, maybe a little bit in the morning. 60s tomorrow, 60s on Thursday with dry weather, warmer with sunshine on Friday. Pretty nice on Saturday. I think late day Sunday we may start to get some showers showing up, but the widespread rain is really through here Monday and Tuesday with colder temperatures coming, maybe highs in the 50s. I also want to show you the mountains because, again, it's going to turn really cold, especially next week, highs in the 30s. And we're likely going to get some good snow, I think, in the mountains by next week as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Adam. We still have some more news in the 8 o'clock hour.
Yes, we do. But first, here's a preview of what's coming up at 9. The Santa Ynez Reservoir at the center of controversy for being offline during the Palisades fire. It's set to be offline again soon for more repairs. We'll tell you why. Plus, how are you spending your Valentine's Day? It's more than just balloons and flowers. We will tell you about a locally owned restaurant that is bringing the love. It'll be here in studio. They brought the food, too. Stay tuned. Ahead at 9. Well, it is no secret. It is expensive to live in California, but 2 local spots are gaining worldwide attention.
Yeah, not necessarily the kind of attention they want. Los Angeles and Long Beach among the world's most unaffordable cities for home buyers. Newsflash. According to a new survey by financial services provider Remitly, if you're making the average salary of LA and about $80,000, you can afford about 28% of a typical house, kind of an unusual way to put it. The massive gap has people either moving to cities like Detroit, which is considered an affordable major U.S. city, or staying in the rental cycle pretty much forever. San Jose, San Diego, and then Vancouver rounded out the top 5.
None of it's surprising, but yeah, interesting way to put it. 28%. You can afford 28%, which means you just can't.
You can live in the garage.
Yeah, right.
I don't see that ending anytime soon.
No.
But don't go anywhere. We're not done yet.
LA Live News Tonight continues at 9, right after the break.
Across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Now at 9, a major development in the search for Savannah Guthrie's missing mother, with the latest as authorities detain someone for questioning, and the FBI uncovers chilling new footage from the day she vanished.
And here it is. We have a wave of rain coming through our area, moving eastward, sweeping through during the overnight hours. Might get some pretty good downpours in some spots. I'll have that forecast ahead.
Plus, a major reservoir is going offline again, raising concerns about fire safety. We're live with what's being done to protect communities this time.
And this is at Lascaux Tonight Live. Sierra Madre, growing concern here, growing fear about contaminated soil being moved around, contaminated after the Eaton fire. Stand by for the latest.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Authorities detain a person for questioning in connection with the abduction of Nancy Guthrie. Good evening, everybody. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Marla Tejas. The search for Savannah Guthrie's missing mother is now in its 10th day. Fox sources say they do not know who the person is or why this person has been detained, but TMZ is reporting the kidnapper possibly lives in the Tucson area, as ransom notes sent out to local news stations suggest the abductor was very familiar with them. TMZ's Harvey Levin also reporting seeing activity in the Bitcoin account listed in the first ransom note sent to their news station. Meantime, the FBI has released new doorbell camera video showing a masked armed person at Guthrie's home the morning she disappeared. Experts say this could blow the case wide open.
This was a major break in terms of giving the community something to say, hey, you know, help us out, give us some information. Somebody out there's got to know more about this individual based on this telling video. The public will hopefully see that and say, well, I know somebody that, you know, has that or carries the gun that certain way or looks that way or has a ski mask or purchased a backpack or still know something. So this just kind of hopefully blew the case wide open.
And the person who was detained tonight was picked up during a traffic stop outside of Tucson. Savannah Guthrie says her family believes Nancy is still alive and urges anyone with information to come forward. The FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of Nancy Guthrie or the arrest and conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance. And we're following more breaking news. This out of Canada. At least 8 people are dead after a mass shooting at a school in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. 6 victims were found inside the school. 1 died en route to the hospital, and the shooter is also dead. Officials say 2 additional deaths at a nearby home are believed to be connected. At least 25 others are hurt. Right now, police are investigating whether another suspect was involved. Right back here at home, rain is beginning to roll through Southern California. This video taken by our photographer, Mike Armijo in Ventura. The umbrellas are out there. And this is a live look from our LAX cam. You see the cloud cover above. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger for more on the timing of the heavy portion of this storm.
Yeah, so those 2 images are great to show that, yes, we have the rain out west, Ventura County getting it right now, and we're waiting for it in L.A. It's this wave that's sweeping eastward as we continue through the overnight hours. So, you know, a couple hours away still from the heart of Los Angeles. It's all swirling around the storm system, this low that's just offshore right now. But again, this is this wave or strip of rain that we're going to watch just march its way eastward through the course of the night. And by the morning, it's pretty much gone. I think a lot of the area, by the time the sun is up, rain will have passed. So I think the timing is pretty good in terms of impacting your day because it's in the middle of the night. Not a lot of people on the roads, for example. So again, here it is in Ventura County. Let's come in a little bit closer. Notice these yellow, orange spots. That's where there's moderate rain. Red would indicate where it's heavy, which there could be some very brief bouts of heavy rain as this comes through. I've seen some rain gauges in this area already picking up 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain. So it's substantial, but it's likely not going to get up to the rate where we're going to find widespread flood warnings or flood issues or anything like that. Out ahead of that, a couple of little showers or sprinkles. You might find a few raindrops around the LA area right now. We have seen some light rain also around Orange County and into the Inland Empire and even into the low desert, but that's been very light compared to what's still coming our way later on tonight. So you can see now as we look at the hour-by-hour rain chance, how it really spikes up to about 100% in the middle of the night, midnight or so for LA. And then as we move this forward, looking at tomorrow morning, this is 6 a.m. to noon, that rain will be tapering off other than a couple of spotty showers here and there. We'll get more into the details of this forecast coming up a little later. For now, Marla, back to you.
All right, Adam, thank you. Skyfox Live right now over Topanga Canyon Boulevard. This is related to the weather. A 3.6-mile section from Pacific Coast Highway and Grandview Drive are shut down as of about 5 minutes ago because of the incoming storm. Caltrans says it will reopen the road when it is safe to do so. Stay tuned there. Now to this, only on Fox 11, the Santa Ynez Reservoir criticized for being offline during the Palisades fire, set to go offline again for repairs. To reduce fire risk, LADWP has installed 6 miles of hose line from Topanga to Palisades. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf, he is live with this massive setup for the first time. You have a look at it, huh?
Yeah, we're high above Pacific Palisades tonight. You can tell that the service is a little spotty just because we're in the highlands. It's a very treacherous terrain area, but if you go ahead and take a look at this video, again, this is our first time seeing this miles and miles of hose line. It just stretches for miles, and this is because it is the lifeline essentially for this community if there's a fire. 117 million gallon tank, the San Ynez Reservoir, is again offline, set for repairs later this month. The hose goes 6 miles, stretching from the Corbin tank in Topanga to the Temescal tank in the Palisades. It's a backup plan with the same reservoir offline again. That was offline during the Palisades fire, set to go offline through the end of year. But a concern tonight, one hiker discovering a kink in the line. She worries if there's a fire, there could also be issues with water pressure again, and it could cause more problems.
Everything's concerning, whether it's, I'm not an engineer, so I don't know, what the fluid dynamics are or structural dynamics of this type of project, but I don't particularly trust the people in charge. So, we all as Palisadians are just keeping an eye on things, reporting things, keeping people accountable to the extent that we can.
We did reach out to LADWP to see if there's a response to that possible kink. So far, we're still waiting to hear back. Reporting in the Palisades tonight, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Matthew, let me just quickly clarify. You said this is going to be offline through the end of the year?
They're expecting to be offline at least through until the winter time frame, but it sounds like that could be optimistic. So possibly, again, it could be offline through the end of the year, and until then, we're going to be reliant on this 6 miles of hose line.
Wow. Okay, that'll grab some people's attention for sure. Matthew, thanks so much. New tonight, some residents in Sierra Madre are sounding the alarm over what they say are toxins in the soil, and now the city council is hearing new details over those concerns. Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos there in Sierra Madre with the latest tonight. Ed?
Marla, neighbors keeping the pressure, the heat on city leaders here over concerns, their fears of soil that is contaminated, soil that is being moved around, stirred up at a construction site before it was actually tested for any contamination from the Eaton fire. Watch.
We have gone through hell this past year. There is no end in sight on when we're going to return home. And now I look out the window and I see this happening.
The emotions from the Eaton fire still burn more than a year later.
If we would have never spoken up, they would be digging up contaminated soil and no one would know it.
But the thing is, they were moving around that soil even before they did the testing.
Yes, they started to do work. And we just feel that they needed to start the testing before any activity happened. Why? Why wouldn't they do that?
Demanding answers over fears contaminated soil is now being moved around. That as work begins on the Meadows development, a large housing project here in Sierra Madre. Heavy equipment already digging trenches on the vacant land surrounded by homes that did burn in the devastating firestorm. But the soil never tested after the fire until it's tested after workers started digging, disturbing the soil. That has the city now removing the top 12 inches of soil after finding it is contaminated.
Now they're kind of backtracking, saying, okay, we're removing that soil, but we don't know now. It might have spread all around the perimeter because they trench, and I have video of them trenching all through that area, all near our home.
For now, the work at the project goes on despite the urgent pleas from neighbors demanding it slow down, demanding a safe cleanup.
And that's why we're angry, because they're moving soil, and they said they weren't going to start moving soil until the report came in, but soil is being moved. And it's right in people's backyards. And they have kids and vulnerable members, and we can't take this sitting down.
And they are not taking this sitting down, I'll tell you. Now back here live, they really want the construction project to slow down, to back off until more testing can be done, until more of that soil and some of the contaminated areas can be removed before the construction and they start stirring up all that soil again begins. But the city, for its part, says the testing will be done, but it will be handled by the construction company involved, and the work at this point continues. So the neighbors say they will continue with their fight, Marla. So it is a battle here, but it's interesting that you're talking about a year and a few weeks after that horrific Eaton fire, and you're still dealing with issues like this here in the fire zone.
Yeah, these long-term consequences, unforeseen perhaps. Are these neighbors, residents feeling any symptoms related to possible toxicity?
Yeah, they say, well, the one fella said, quote, they're killing our kids, quote, unquote, in a sense that they are concerned. They have one lady, nice lady, was telling her she has a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old son, actually, she said. He's been dealing with some health problems. So, yeah, they're really concerned about the young folks, the children in that area. And one of the other neighbors, Marla, to your point, was saying, you know, they spent their home was damaged, so they spent a lot of money cleaning it up, you know, making sure the air was fine, all the dust, the dirt, the debris was removed. So they spend a lot of money. They get back in. They're starting to feel okay, starting to feel safe. Then they claim, you know, that soil is being moved around. It gets up into the air, and now they've got worries again that their home might be contaminated all over again.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Okay, we'll follow up. Thanks so much, Ed. Earlier today, Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles signs an executive director aimed at limiting ICE operations in LA. It requires LAPD officers to preserve evidence tied to immigration enforcement and bans federal agents from using city property for staging. Several city leaders and community members joined her in support. And new at 9, ICE is rapidly expanding across California, sparking controversy. Leaked federal records obtained by Wired reveal at least 7 new hubs near schools, clinics, and churches in cities like Los Angeles and Irvine. The agency is using $80 billion in funding and bypassing standard lease rules to fast-track over 250 new offices nationwide. Right now, over 100 additional locations remain undisclosed. Well, a major vote could impact your wallet and the future of healthcare in LA County. Up next, local lawmakers say a tax hike is critical to make up for federal funding cuts, while some cities are pushing back. Plus, those cuts could put HIV prevention programs in jeopardy. And California is taking the biggest hit. We'll tell you how much Los Angeles County stands to lose. And fires, earthquakes, you name it. This Malibu mansion built to survive anything. We took a closer look at its jaw-dropping design and multi-million-dollar price tag. at 9, the Trump administration is planning to cut $600 million in federal health funding targeting HIV prevention programs, with California hit hardest. Experts warn these cuts will weaken efforts to detect and prevent HIV outbreaks, leaving vulnerable communities at risk. According to the LA Times, Los Angeles County alone stands to lose over $1 million for critical monitoring projects. Meantime, LA County voters will be asked to approve a half-cent sales tax increase. The Board of Supervisors say the tax hike is critical to make up for those federal funding cuts. Fox 11's Nick Garcia reports.
The LA County Board of Supervisors voted in favor of putting a measure on the June ballot asking voters to approve a sales tax hike. It would temporarily raise the county sales tax to 10.25%.
It's temporary. Footnote, temporary. This doesn't go on for 30 years. This goes on for 5 years.
Supervisors Hilda Solis and Holly Mitchell introduced the measure to supplement health care funding cuts made by the federal government.
We are facing more than $2.5 billion in federal cuts over the next 3 years. If that's not a sledgehammer, I don't know what is.
Supervisor Catherine Barger was the only one to vote against it, saying it shouldn't be on LA County taxpayers to make up for the shortfall.
My question is not about the why. It's about the how. And this could have been better vetted and put on the ballot in November.
Many cities in the county are opposed to the proposed hike.
A lot of cities are also dependent on tax revenues, and with sales tax revenues dwindling, looking for other ways, increasing the taxes are the only way that cities can provide essential services.
Still, hundreds of people showed up to the meeting, the majority of them showing support for the increase.
That will balance what people are losing and what organizations aren't going to be able to put out for those that are in need.
Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Weather is sponsored by American Career College.
All right, live look from West LA looking at downtown Los Angeles. Camera's looking a little shaky there, maybe a little windy out there. And I did see some precipitation on the lens earlier, and that's indicative of the storm that we have coming our way. Adam Kruger, take it away.
Yeah, a lot of the greater LA area, just a few light showers right now. The heavier rain is west around Ventura County, and we definitely have a breeze, and you can see the camera bouncing around. Something I mentioned earlier tonight, and I'll get into it again in a minute here, but the wind advisory we had in effect for some spots was upgraded to a high wind warning. That's in effect tonight and into tomorrow morning. Okay, so let's look at the headlines first. Again, we've got widespread rain. It's coming through tonight. It's moving from west to east. We'll get to the radar in a second. Then tomorrow, by the time the sun is up, most areas will probably be done with rain or done with substantial rain. It's just going to gradually taper off with some spotty stuff at worst tomorrow. And then Thursday through Saturday is going to be dry. By the way, after that, a bigger storm system looks to impact us maybe Sunday and Monday of next week. All right, radar right now, we've got this line of rain out to the west. This is what I was talking about. This is what's moving through during the night tonight. So again, ahead of this, we see a couple of these little light showers here and there, nothing that's that big of a deal. But this current wave of rain to the west, we've seen some rain gauges in parts of Ventura County pick up ½ an inch to an inch of rain, even some mountainous terrain picking up a little more than an inch of rain out of all this. These yellow to orange colors indicating that it's moderate to borderline heavy rain, and not that the heavy rain would last too long in one particular spot because it is on the move, but there could be some good little bursts of rain for parts of our area as we go later into the night. Now, ahead of this, again, a lot of LA County, things are fairly quiet right now, a couple of showers, and yes, we have that breeze, and then there's some light rain, as you see, off towards the east as well. Like I said, we have a high wind warning. That's that yellowish color right there. So the National Weather Service has upped the numbers on it, essentially, with winds sustained that could be 30 to 40 and gusts up to 60 anywhere in this zone. And this is not a Santa Ana wind or an offshore wind. Normally when we get wind alerts, it's because of Santa Ana winds. This is just a strong south wind, meaning the winds are going from south to north as the storm system rolls through. Let's look at this on Futurecast now as we continue through the night into 10 and then midnight. You can see the rain just gradually working its way eastward. So by midnight, a lot of the heavier stuff is already done in Ventura County. I'd say midnight to maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is when most of LA County gets the rain. And then we see it progress eastward from there in Orange County, Inland Empire. Here we are 6 o'clock in the morning, and you can see it lingering over our eastern areas and then just kind of gradually tapering off over the eastern parts by midday tomorrow, and we'll get maybe a little sun breaking through the clouds at some point tomorrow afternoon. Potential rain totals, well, many areas likely get around or less than half an inch of rain, but there's going to be spots where a little bit more than that is possible. Notice our model says over an inch in Burbank. Doesn't mean it's going to exactly play out like that, but there will be some spots where an inch or more could occur, especially maybe north of LA into some of the mountains. All right, temperatures tomorrow. It's going to be another cool day. 50s early, 60s, like low to mid 60s in the afternoon. Around the rest of Southern California, pretty similar story with the high temperatures, a lot like today with those 60s. And as soon as this map fills in, I think the computer's delayed a little bit here. You're going to see that as we, there it is, look into next week. Keep in mind, a lot of this is not from this current storm system. It's from the next one, which is going to be probably Sunday night to Monday to Tuesday of next week. That one's going to be more major. We've got potential for multiple inches of rain, and maybe we get some flood alerts issued from that next one. Again, that's going to be at the end of the 7-day forecast here. You see maybe Sunday, but more so Monday, Tuesday next week. Also some colder temperatures with that. So that's later on towards the end of the 7-day. In the short term, we got those cooler temps tomorrow, maybe a little rain in the morning, cool but dry on Thursday. Looking a little bit better Friday and Saturday as those highs get back up around 70. Marla?
All right, Adam, thank you. Mount Baldy trails are closed for 2 weeks as a winter storm approaches. Officials say heavy snow and icy conditions make the mountain just too dangerous, especially after 3 hikers died in December. The popular Southern California peak has seen 23 deaths in the past decade. While some climbers support the closure, others argue it unfairly limits access for experienced mountaineers. Violating the order could lead to fines or jail time. Behold this, a Malibu estate designed to last for centuries is now on the market for almost $35 million. Known as Simca, this 30,000 square foot architectural marvel by Chris Halliday, dubbed God's architect, is built to withstand fires, earthquakes, tsunamis, and more. With 10 bedrooms, 20 bathrooms, and luxury features like a 176-foot pool, private spa, and yes, ocean views. It's listed by Jade Mills and Zach Quitman of Coldwell Banker Realty. A tiny beetle with a big secret coming up. Local scientists uncover how it sneaks into an ant colony by stealing their scent. We will tell you why this clever trick leaves the beetle with no way out. Governor Newsom is taking bold action to shield veterans from scams targeting their hard-earned benefits. California has introduced new measures, including a tax credit, to safeguard their finances and return thousands of dollars to their pockets. These efforts aim to honor and support those who have served. Local veterans could see significant financial relief. California is providing additional protections for veterans by limiting who may charge fees for assistance with benefits claims administered by the federal government.
Good to be back here. It's good to be here with all of you and have the backs of millions of our American heroes that are here and call California home.
Governor Newsom says this bill will finally provide a framework to protect our veterans from being defrauded when seeking assistance to apply for the benefits they deserve from the VA. Well, speaking of Governor Newsom, he's heading to Germany this week for the Munich Security Conference. We're told he plans to challenge President Trump's policies and promote California as a global leader in climate initiatives, trade, and job growth. The three-day event gathers world leaders, business executives, and policymakers. Other U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, will also attend. Still ahead, outrage in San Bernardino as more than 100 dogs are found starving. Wait until you hear the plea deal prosecutors are now considering. Plus cards, stuffed animals, chocolate. Valentine's Day is almost here, but we will share with you a locally owned restaurant that is not only romantic but has amazing food. They will join us with the food in studio.
Across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Only on Fox 11 tonight, more than 100 dogs rescued from horrific conditions at a so-called animal rescue in San Bernardino County. Almost 100 had to be euthanized because of severe neglect. Now, as Fox 11's Gina Silva reports, the woman accused faces multiple charges, but outrage is growing as she may avoid prison with a plea deal.
The worst case I've ever seen.
It was a shocking case of animal cruelty discovered at this location in San Bernardino County in 2024. 114 dogs seized from Woofy Acres Adoption in Pinion Hills. At least 94 of those dogs were suffering so severely they had to be euthanized.
She put them in like hot boxes and let them suffer and starve to death, basically. Like when they rescued them, most of them were skin and bones, just barely alive, and that's why humane euthanasia was the only way out of it.
Shira Scott Astroff is one of several animal rescuers now sounding the alarm. They say this woman photographed in court, Diane Denise Bedford, the founder of the nonprofit Woofy Acres Adoptions, could soon walk away with minimal consequences, despite more than 100 dogs found suffering under her care.
She went to the shelter. She pretended to be rescuing these dogs, giving them care.
Bedford, who is also a registered nurse, was charged with 37 criminal counts, including 7 felonies. But Shira says the San Bernardino DA is considering a plea deal because they fear the defense will frame the case as mental health-related animal hoarding.
She said that she's going to try to keep 1 felony charge for animal cruelty, and in the state of California, that, you know, you go online, you think we have all these strong animal laws, and we don't. Basically, that carries probation at best.
If this does plead out to lesser charges, that does not diminish the possibility that there could be other charges that come forward.
Former prosecutor and legal analyst Mary David says this case could go beyond animal cruelty. She says Bedford could also be investigated for fraud or tax violations.
If this is someone who had a nonprofit and was taking donations, but was not stewarding that in a way that supported the care of these animals, that is certainly something that could come out.
The fact that 94 dogs had to immediately be euthanized, this is the worst animal cruelty case I've ever seen.
Shira is urging the public to contact the San Bernardino District Attorney. A hearing has been scheduled for February 17th in Rancho Cucamonga. We also contacted the DA, but no one got back to us. I'm Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
Well, tonight, a growing memorial outside the 99 Ranch Market in Westwood, where 3 lives were lost last week. New video here shows flowers, candles, and photos honoring the victims. And this homemade sign nearby calls for improved pedestrian safety, urging the city to slow down traffic. Officials say the crash caused by a 92-year-old driver was an accident. Now to a story first seen on Fox 11. Students at a South LA school are furious after one of their teachers was let go because he opened a gate to let them out during walkouts. That teacher tells our Christina Gonzalez it was simply a matter of safety.
We're standing right in front of the fence that the students were jumping.
A rally outside Synergy Quantum Academy High School demanding the return of history teacher Ricardo Lopez.
Andrew!
He was at school last week when he saw some OSQ students trying to jump a fence to join anti-ICE walkouts happening at schools all over Southern California.
When I saw that one of my AP US history students was going to jump the gate and almost fall, and I saw other students trying to jump it, I was like, hey, don't jump at the gate. So I opened the gate so they could not get hurt. The day before, some students were hurt trying to jump the gate.
An hour later, Lopez says he was terminated and marched out of the school.
Officially, it was terminated for insubordination for not following some policy.
His belongings put in boxes and delivered to his home.
I have a lot of student work that I'm very proud of. I hang some of these, there's paintings or things that students have created for their projects.
In a statement to Fox 11, the school says that as a campus within a rather large LAUSD property, they actually have to adhere to the district's policy when it comes to campus access and safety. During the large walkouts last week, LAUSD issued statements discouraging students from leaving campus during school hours. Lopez says he wasn't encouraging anyone to leave.
I was just concerned about my student safety, and I was the closest adult, so I just acted in the moment. The work I was trying to do in the classroom, I feel like it was impactful and meaningful, and I really miss my students, and I really want to get back to the class.
So are his students. In South LA, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
Well, tonight, the bidding war for Warner Brothers continues. Paramount is upping the stakes in its bid to buy the company. It sweetened its $108.4 billion all-cash offer with a $2.8 billion breakup fee for Netflix and extra payments to Warner shareholders if the deal takes too long to close. Despite the enhancements, Warner's board is sticking with its recommendation to sell to Netflix for $82.7 billion, but says it will review Paramount's revised bid. Chappell Roan leaves the Wasserman Agency. The 27-year-old musician cut ties after emails surfaced between agency founder Casey Wasserman and Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice. The emails released by the Justice Department date back years before Maxwell's crimes were known. Wasserman has not been accused of wrongdoing, but he's now facing calls to step down as chair of the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Caught on camera, a cat jumping from a second-story burning building in San Bernardino. We'll show it to you again. This happened yesterday when a firefighter was injured and taken to the hospital. Right now, the cause of that fire is still under investigation, but this video is proof cats always seem to land on their feet. New at 9, a tiny beetle is revealing big clues about evolution. Caltech researchers finding that the rove beetle Scaptobius infiltrates velvety tree ant colonies in the Angeles National Forest by stealing the ants' pheromones. This trick helps the beetle survive but makes it completely dependent on the ants.
Now, what Scaptobius has evolved the ability to do is shut down its own synthesis of these chemicals, so it's this chemical blank slate that it can then paint the ant's own pheromones onto, so it can be accepted as a nest mate and become fed mouth to mouth. But it can never leave the nest, because if it does so, it desiccates and dies, because it no longer has this waxy boundary layer on its exoskeleton.
Well, scientists say this no turning back relationship explains how some symbiotic partnerships evolve. Well, making plans for NBA All-Star Weekend 2026. Up next, we've got the ultimate food guide you won't want to miss. Plus, looking for a great locally owned Italian restaurant for Valentine's Day. Cesare Ristorante is in studio. There he is with his beautiful wife, Pamela. They'll show us some of the good food they are serving up there for the Sweethearts this weekend.
So there's great smells in the studio, too. It smells really good. Okay, let's talk about our weather. So we have this wave of rain off to the west of L.A. right now, but it's sweeping eastward. We've seen some rain totals ½ an inch to an inch out of this, and that's what we can expect going forward into the night. We'll map it out for you coming up after the break.
New at 9, Valentine's Day is almost upon us, and if you don't have plans yet, a nice Italian dinner may be the way to go. Cesare Ristorante on West 3rd Street is a wonderful option. Cesare and Pamela Viatina, they join me now to tell us all about their restaurant and, of course, the food they brought. Just the most beautiful spread here. Thank you, and happy Valentine's Day, a little early to the both of you.
Thank you so
Thank you very much.
And thank you for having us. We're so excited. We're very happy to be here. It smells good. Do you smell it?
It smells good, and I'm sorry our viewers can't smell it. Let's just start before we talk about the actual beautiful food here. Looks so delicious. Cesare, there's so many Italian restaurants across the Southland. What separates yours from the others?
Well, I've been in the restaurant business for like 40 years right now. You know, always here in LA. My family was in the restaurant business in Italy before coming here. And what separates us is the simplicity of what we make.
And this is northern Italy.
Northern Italy, from Tuscany, actually. We are from Forte dei Marmi, which is like the Hampton of Italy, a beautiful resort in Tuscany, right next to Cinque Terre, Lucca, Pisa.
God, I feel like I'm on vacation talking to you. And Pamela, you greet people. People know you, love you, and you know these recipes just as well as he does, I'm sure.
It's amazing. He definitely does all the cooking at home. Why would I? He's the master. He's amazing at it. These are the polpette della nonna, the meatballs. This is our rigatoni bolognese.
Let's just, hopefully we can get a better shot of these. And this is your grandmother's recipe.
Grandmothers, yes. Everybody loves their grandmother's meatballs.
Okay. Okay, beautiful. And the rigatoni with bolognese sauce.
Bolognese sauce, yes.
Okay. And then these are not to be mistaken for pizza. These are...
This is pinza. It's a much lighter version of the usual pizza.
Okay.
Because we use 3 different flours. We use fava beans flour, rice flour, and all wheat flour.
Ooh.
And we're able to put 80% of water. That's what makes it much lighter than a regular pizza. So it unites both worlds. Like in Italy, we like crispy. Here, they like more soft.
Okay.
This is kind of in the middle, you know, crispy but soft.
And I like the thin portion of it all. And this is brie and pear.
Brie and
so
pears.
look how beautiful it photographs as well. And then this is, I imagine,
this is just
the base of it.
A focaccia, yes, with just some olive oil and rosemary.
Okay, and then of course, Valentine's Day, you think of chocolate, but then there's this strawberry tart. And we put this on TV. Tell us about this.
This is we make all our dessert, you know, so this is a fantastic cream that we make, and we put the fresh strawberry on top. It's really a spectacular dessert.
Okay, so can you twist my arm and can I have a bite?
Please.
We brought a lot.
Oh, you brought a lot. Well, we see that.
Everyone.
So this is your grandmother's meatball recipe.
Yes.
What's the reception like when people, I mean, I feel like walking into your restaurant would be like going to a friend's house. Is that sort of what it's like?
You're basically coming into our house, and that's what we wanted. The decor and everything is things from our house. Yes, with family pictures, and you can smell this the minute you walk into the restaurant. You feel like you're at somebody's home. You feel like you're cooking with Cesare. It's really, really sweet.
And this weekend, I know obviously we're only a few days away from Valentine's Day. I'm sure you're pretty booked, but people can call the restaurant and maybe they could get in.
Yes, I mean, people could cancel anytime, but I highly suggest that you give us a call. We've been booked for a while now, but we're very excited. It's going to be beautiful. It's a 4-course prefix menu.
Okay, so it is a prefix menu.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Your rigatoni bolognese and your grandmother's meatballs, just to die for. How do you say that in Italian?
Too nice. Da impazzire.
Da impazzire.
Yes.
Okay. So for more information about Cesare Ristorante, there it is. Very simply, CesareRistorante.com. And you can call them. Ask for Pamela. Ask for Cesare. You're so friendly and warm and welcoming. And we thank you so much for feeding us here at Fox 11.
We have to say hello to our sons who are probably watching. Ciao, Rocco. Ciao, Luca.
Ciao, Luca.
Go to bed.
Sweet dreams. Your parents are wonderful. All right, Adam, you got to taste this. Over to you.
I will get there in a few minutes. It looks great. And I feel like, we're just like in someone's living room, like with the food, or the kitchen anyways. Okay, let's talk about our weather. Because obviously we have some changes going on right now. We have the storm system impacting California. We have this wave of rain that's moving through our western areas right now. We've been watching this all night long, just progressively moving eastward. So eventually it's going to make its way into LA and continuing east from there during the late night hours. But a lot of this happening in the middle of the night, which means Probably not a whole lot of impact to you. I mean, I think you're just going to be at home, in bed. You might not even know it's raining when it comes through. We've got some heavier rains showing up right now here just near and east of Oxnard up towards Santa Paula, and this is continuing to move to the east. So Thousand Oaks, you're getting some of that lighter rain out ahead of it. Into LA right now and Ventura County, or I should say the San Fernando Valley. Just a little light rain here and there, but that heavier rain is coming. And then into Orange County, Inland Empire, again, a couple of light showers here and there. In addition to this, we've seen a change in the wind forecast tonight. So earlier, going back several hours, this is a wind advisory. It was upgraded to a high wind warning for even stronger winds. And then also in the last half hour or so, this area right here was included in a wind advisory. So you can see what the wind forecast look like. Obviously, the higher numbers in the high wind warning area, but these winds blowing from south to north, not your typical wind that blows in from the desert, the Santa Ana wind. Not the case this time around. This is just a strong south wind generated by the storm system as it moves through. So that's going to be the case tonight and tomorrow morning with those gusty winds. All right, Futurecast is going to show the progression of that rain as we go through the night. Here we are, 3 in the morning. It's moving eastward. Here we go into 6 in the morning into our eastern areas. By the time the sun is up, other than some rain east, I think most of us will have seen the last of it. And then the clouds eventually break up a little bit tomorrow afternoon as well. So our forecast tomorrow, other than a little bit of rain in the morning, again, most of the day is probably going to be dry. A lot of it's just coming tonight. Then we'll get a little sunshine breaking out. Still a cool day tomorrow, though, with temperatures topping out in the low to mid 60s and around the rest of the region, other than the mountains being pretty cold. Most areas, again, looking at those highs in the low to mid 60s tomorrow. Switching to Thursday, we go up a couple degrees. We have a dry day in store for Thursday, and then Friday, sunshine, temperatures getting back into the 70s, so a little bit of improvement in the weather there to round out this week. And by the way, Valentine's Day, we were talking about Valentine's dinner there a moment ago. Valentine's Day looks fine, dry weather, nice temperatures. But let's watch this storm system exit. We have a couple of quiet days, but look what happens maybe late Sunday, but more so Monday of next week. A more potent and widespread storm system cranking up some rain and snow in California. And then look at Tuesday. This thing is still going, and I would imagine even into Wednesday, potentially Thursday of next week, still going to be some rain to watch for. And it's going to be, it's like a no doubt kind of rain situation. It's going to be widespread and high impact, we're thinking, and also with some colder temperatures. But in the meantime, again, we talked about those 60s the next couple of days, 72 Friday, 70 degrees on Saturday, cooling off Sunday, and then check out that cold air with that wet weather coming in early next week. We're back right after this break.
breaking news. We have some breaking news. This is a live look from Tucson, Arizona. This is Fox News' Matt Finn. We're just taking a shot just to bring you the urgency of this. Investigators with FBI support searching a Rio Rico home linked to the case of missing Nancy Guthrie. Earlier, authorities detained a person of interest during a traffic stop south of Tucson. Surveillance photos show that masked individual tampering with Guthrie's doorbell camera. A woman at the searched home defended her son-in-law, claiming he doesn't match the suspect's description. All right, Matt Finn getting ready for a live report for Fox News. The Super Bowl continues to dominate. Super Bowl 60 set a new U.S. TV record with over 137 million viewers at its peak. The game averaged 124 million viewers overall, making it the second most watched in history. Bad Bunny's Apple Music halftime show drew 128 million U.S. viewers and smashed NFL's social media records with 4 billion views in just 24 hours. Major League Baseball is now streaming in-market games for 20 teams, including the Dodgers, Angels, and Padres. Fans can watch through the MLB app with options like Angels.tv for $99.99 per season or $19.99 monthly. ESPN will also stream out-of-market games via MLB.tv. The shift comes as regional sports networks face challenges and MLB steps in to adapt. Games remain available on traditional TV, but streaming offers more flexibility for fans to stay connected. Well, if you are making plans for the NBA All-Star Weekend 2026, that's this coming weekend, don't show up hungry. We've got you your food lineup covered. A local food influencer shows Fox 11's Bob DeCastro his favorite spots.
He's the go-to guy for all the good eats in Inglewood. This guy's the authority on where to
Yeah, we all follow him. We all follow him and listen to him. Every day he tries something that we try, you know what I mean? And what's good is he always do local food that we can get to, you know what I mean? There's always something that we can get to. That's why we love him out here.
This one's good too. Tay's food tour shows us some of his all-star picks. So this bakery here, another slam dunk if you're going to be coming around Inglewood for the All-Star game.
Yeah, this is a three-pointer right here. This is the one. This is Sweet Red Peach, the best cakes in the city.
And you can basically walk here.